Hi, you're watching The Rudy Rude. In this video, I will make a small musical piece using only the TTSH. It's a clone of the ARP 2600 hi-hat, bass drum, snare, kiss, chords, melody, bass. So let's make a hi-hat. This is the arterial key step. I'm gonna take the gate out and plug it into the gate in on the TTSH. This will trigger the envelope generator. So to make a hi-hat, I need a noise source. I'm gonna bring the noise here. It goes into the filter. That filter will go in the VCA, the voltage control amplifier. And this VCA is outputting to the two left and right output. Okay, let's see if we hear anything. This is good. Now if I hit the keyboard, I should hear a pick pick. Okay, this could be a nice hi-hat, but I want it to be more high-passed. So yeah, I could use an EQ, I could use filters inside the DAW, but I choose not to. I'm gonna do my little trick. Well, it's not my little trick, it's a trick I've learned from the ARP 2600 original user's manual. In order to achieve a high-pass filter, I need to invert the source of the noise and put it against the non-inverted. So there will be a phase cancellation of the frequency, and it will result in a thing that sounds like a high pass. The low frequencies are going to cancel each other. I take the noise gen output. By the way, it is a white noise. I put it into a non-attenuated inverter. I take the output of the inverter back in the mixer here. So if we hear the noise, now we hear the noise, I will bring the inverted noise against the non-inverted. See, it's almost cancelled. Now if I play that same thing, oh, it's a tiny, tiny hi-hat, which I want. So I just programmed the envelope generator to have a short decay, but if I don't press the key completely, like if I press it very fast, it will result in a long release time. So I can do a pseudo open hi-hat. For the hi-hat, I will just sample some of the hits and replay it in the DAW. Et voilà, a hi-hat. I will make a bass drum with the TTSH. I like using the filter's own resonance self-oscillation for this. I don't know why, there's something so snappy about it, so mean. I did tune the gain of the resonance so it self-oscillates very loud. So let's see about this. There it is. This is the self-oscillating filter resonance. It's a pure sine wave. For this one, I'm gonna use the AR as the VCA envelope generator and the ADSR to shape the filter. So of course I have the gate coming out of the key step. Let's see how it sounds if I just do this. Oh, it's like a laser. I'm gonna get the pitch out of the key step so it goes into the keyboard control. Of the filter, because I'd like to have high bass drums, low bass drums. So it could be used also as tom if it's higher than a bass drum. So how does this sound when we bring it down? Longer decay. So this is an F. This is a bass drum, making the snare drum. For this one also, I will use the noise. Maybe a little longer. So this is just the noise part. I want to have some kind of harmonic content, like on a real skin. You just don't have the snares, but you have also the skin that will resonate. So I will try to make that. A bit like they do on the electron analog rhythm. They take an oscillator and you kind of modulate it with a FM source to have a more complex sound. So I will use oscillator too, but I would like a sine wave. Do we hear the... Okay, we hear the sine wave now. I will modulate it with another sine wave. As you can see on this particular TTSH, each of the 3 oscillators can produce not only the old sawtooth and square, they can produce also triangle and sine. So I know this is the sine wave. Let's make it fatter. Let's bring the noise. I'll turn down the filter a bit and introduce a bit of filter ADSR. ADSR on the filter. If I tried the ring modulator, how would that... Oh, interesting. Okay, this is a kind of a snare. Let's try it higher a bit and a bit brighter. Then I'll have a choice of sample to make the song. Snare drums. Now I'm making the kiss sound. What is that? Well, from the bass drum sound, I'm gonna make this, I call it the kiss. There are some people call it also haiku. They're kind of a hi-hat, but made of a sine wave. Kraftwerk did it very well in numbers. So this will be much higher, with the very, very fast. Maybe I'll just use the ADSR and not the AR for the VCA. It's a very fast. This envelope is so fast because there are settings which I'm going to overview at the end of this video or the beginning, I'm not sure. So I'm sampling this little kiss. Making chords. I'm going to use the 3 oscillators and make a minor chord. I'm only going to play the minor chords of that bass we just heard before. So I'm going to keep oscillator 1. It's already tuned to. It's already tuned. So when I play F, it plays F. Let's bring the oscillator 2. I'll put this in the multiple because I need to control oscillator 2 as well. So 1 for oscillator 1. A multiple here from the key step to oscillator 2. Of course, I want to make a 3-note chord. So I'm going to need a third oscillator, which is the oscillator 3. Let's make it brighter so I can tune. Make it square. I'll make a minor third. Tuning it by ear. And the VCO3, I would like the square wave as well. Well, which is a pulse, but there are pulse width. Of course, yeah, there is a pulse width in the oscillator 3. Okay, I want this a fifth. I have a fifth and a minor third. One, two, three, four. Okay, let's make it more bright. Let's make it brighter with a bit of noise in it. That's the chords. I'm gonna make the bass a sound of the song. So I'm gonna use a single oscillator, which is VCO1. It's already normaled in square wave. This is what I need. I want the good old square wave. I'm gonna need the pitch out of the arterial key step. We already have the gate in, and I'll plug this pitch out into the keyboard input of the VCO1. That will produce a square wave. Does it do that? Nice and square. Now let's tune it. I'm gonna be in F, so I would like an F in a low range kind of. I'm using a tuner in Ableton, so this is a good F. This machine tracks so well. Let's make it darker with an attack on the VCF. Not an attack, but a decay. put a click track. 1, 2, 3, 4. I will make a melody now with oscillator 2 as a pretty much square wave. Let's see how this sounds. This is with the ADSR, not the AR on the VCA. It's also the ADSR on the filter. Okay, standard square wave. Let's add the oscillator tree, but the trick with the oscillator tree, it's that it is synced to oscillator 2. There's a little switch here. This is a modification I had made on the TTSH, if you want to hear how it sounds. So I want a very percussive sound like this. I'm going to lower the filter, the low pass filter frequency. To have more of a percussive sound. And I'm going to do a little trick here, is to take the reverb out, the spring reverb, the reverb out. Will go back into the VCA in, which is normal to the ring modulator, but when you plug it there, it bypasses the normal internal patch. Let's raise the reverb. If I do this and I plug something in, you cannot hear the reverb, but if I put this, it will gate the reverb. Can you hear the little kind of echo? And I'm gonna add a little of the spring reverb, just a tad. I'm gonna do another kind of add-on to the melody while it's doing. I'm going to add a filter modulation with oscillator 1 in a sine wave. Let's see. That's interesting. It makes, it's because it makes a feedback here. Okay, let's have only the oscillator that's been synced. There. Let's make a song with all of that.